For all of you who is here on the first, welcome. Nice having you all. I really do appreciate you and your time.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here. This is my first time doing any kind of live, so
Oh, I'm fortunate.
thank you. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks to Lori and the old Pawtucket Poetry for knowing you all because you probably heard me make mentions. She is part of the real reason why I go all over New England because when I went to her event, she just started, spamming me with all these events, and well, she promote other events, and I took that opportunity to go and execute phenomenally well, and you know, a year after, I was kidnapped and trapped.
Well, you're lucky. She's a great woman.
Yes, yes, indeed, she is precisely. So before I talk to you about the event or your poetry, you heard Sandy just now. What do you have to say about her pieces? And I'm sure you've seen her perform before. So
I
if there's
have.
anything you want to say, you can just share it.
I think those were both extremely beautiful. I remember you from my very first time at Pawtucket Poetry. Um, and you kind of you pulled pieces from my poems and gave me like a reflection, and it was really nice to hear you collaborate with me on what I had to say and what I was feeling, and let me know, most importantly, that I wasn't alone with what I was feeling.
That's
Nice,
wonderful.
nice, nice,
That's
amazing.
wonderful to hear, Madison.
Thank you.
Yes. So Maddie, how are you doing? How are you feeling as it relates? You express your excitement for being on the live show for the first. The Pawtucket Poetry fifth anniversary.
I'm
Are you
very
excited?
excited. I'm very excited. Very nervous,
There's no
but
Oh,
need to be.
excited. It feels almost unreal in a way. I started coming to Pawtucket Poetry in January, so
Uh-huh.
to be starting my year, the new year in January, exactly a year apart, and having started, in this small room that houses a big community, and to be able to share myself and my poems and celebrate not just poets but Lori specifically, it feels very important to me, and I'm very grateful to have that opportunity to be there.
Thank you so very much. Very, very, very informative, and that was something need to be heard, need to be said, and I know she feel excited just the same as your words warm her heart.
Okay.
You get me?
I do.
And yeah, I do appreciate, all talents that been, showing up week by week, week after week for the Pawtucket Poetry event. However, it was paused for a small bit in the last parts of this month, and it resumes with the anniversary celebration where you all will be there. I see Monica laughing at me when I said I was being kidnapped. Look at her putting all these emojis. There was no one to save. Well, I did not want to be saved anyway.
There you go. Good catch.
So yeah, how long you been doing poetry?
um Well, I started writing maybe in high school, and they weren't really poems. They were more like short stories. I had an English teacher in high school that was incredible. Whenever I would write a piece for my English class, she was always very good about, pointing out different things and giving me that belief in myself that I could do more. Um, and I think this year for me specifically really kind of, I don't want to say lit a fire under my ass, but I don't really know how else to describe it. I was going through some really, really tough things, and I was putting my feelings out there, and I started them off as stories, and then I saw a post about Pawtucket poetry, and I was learning about it and started reading more poetry books and changed my stories into a different kind of format, um, which was really cool to begin with. So I'm definitely still learning how to kind of write things and word things, but it's nice to be doing that and to be in a community where it's accepted and it's loving.
Maddie, so let me add to this. Whenever time you perform at the Pawtucket Poetry weekly poetry event, I don't know if it's your following, I don't know if it's your looks, but it's probably everything combined. But your views are skyrocketing. I'm like, wow, in just a few minutes, and then you'll be clocking hundreds. That's really good. So that display evidently that you're definitely needed in the literary arts world, and just continue to keep doing greatness and do what you do. I'm gonna ask you to share two poems, just as how I asked Sandy to do just the same. You are here with Amaziyah the Great, of course, and I'm chatting with two phenomenal queens. On my screen, we have Sandy and Maddie. Maddie will be sharing two poems. Earlier, Sandy recited two. These ladies, along with Mel, Monica D. Vance, and who am I forgetting? So Maddie, Sandy,
Jill.
Mel,
No.
Jill.
Jillian, yes. They all will be performing Sunday at Lit Arts RI, January 5 at the TDP Show, Pawtucket Poetry 5th Anniversary. So, yeah, with that said and done, of course, I have to bring Madison Ruszala on stage. Take it away, Maddie.
Okay, so I recently wrote one titled Too Much. Kind of like a small backstory. It was more about feeling like love is hard to find and not feeling content in myself. So I am going to take it away. Maybe I am too much woman, too much heart, too much empathy, and too many scars. Maybe the way I feel everyone's emotions is detrimental to my health. Maybe it's the way my heart captivates love and shreds at the sight of a child asking his mother for a hug. Maybe my thighs are too thick to fit in these scrubs, and maybe, just maybe, I won't be enough. Maybe the scars in my heart are too much to bear, and the wounds left by others are hard to pretend aren't there. Maybe my flaws are contradicting, the way I get mad and then blue. Maybe my hair is too thin and falls out over you. Maybe my eyes are too green and my tears are too new. Maybe the lack of sleep I possess is on account of you. Maybe my words are painful when they hold too much truth. Maybe my nails are too short and I refuse to paint them too. Maybe my tattoos are random and it changes the view of who I am inside when people think that I'll be rude. But as I sit here and I stare at the woman looking back at me, I'm reminded of who she is inside, and she's a treasure worth the keep. The way I empathize with others makes me me and not you. My thighs are super thick, and if I wanted to, I could squish you. The scars on my heart tell a story that I loved harder than anyone who stood before me and judged. My eyes are green and not with envy, but filled with hope, and they shine like a gem in the sky. My hair might be thin, but it's damn sure mighty. The strands that fall out are there to remind me. Remind me that I love with more than passion, a fire inside hotter than a bonfire. My lack of sleep isn't just because of you. A degree stands before me, and I'll do my best to pursue. The words that I speak will always ring true. I have no reason to lie and withhold the truth. My nails are short because my work days are long. No color on them. I don't care who looks on. My tattoos tell a story, one that some may never know, but they complete me and make me feel like I'm stronger than anyone. I am more than enough because I am me and not you. I will always love myself. There's not a thing you can do. To be me is to be special and love my imperfections. It took a lot of pride for me to become this woman. Stay true and be you. It's all you can do. At the end of the day, you will always have you.
Wonderful. Amazing. Sandy, you want to take that away before I go to the next poem?
Sure. Do you want me to?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yes.
Hey, that was wonderful.
Thank
I love
you.
it. Even the opening, too much woman, too much heart, and then you end up with too many scars. Too much and yet not enough. And I love the way you explore the contradictions of that
Thank you.
and how what you come to is a real self-affirmation of having to be true to yourself. Um, your tattoos tell a story. Um, I am more than enough. So those are wonderful, a wonderful journey that you took us on.
Thank you.
We all feel sometimes like we're too much. I certainly have felt that way when we have our emotional needs and others are not able to receive them. And then there was this kind of reckoning with yourself about it in a wonderful and growthful way. I thought it was beautiful. Thank
Thank
you for
you
sharing.
so much.
Yeah, I really love it. But before I give my take, I think Monica was saying something. Let's see what she was saying. Maddie, your first poem is empowering and encouraging. Well, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Thank you, Monica. She's a great supporter. She really is.
So what I want to add to that is, continue because your work is definitely needed and it empowers people. On your journey, have you completed a book yet, or are you, planning? Not yet,
I'm not even close to a book.
but still continue because it is needed. I am going to allow you to say your next poem, and of course, I just saw wifey came on screen and disappeared like smoke in thin air, but definitely she will not escape. So if you're watching and you're listening, I will bring you on soon for you to comment on Maddie's next poem. Founder of Pawtucket Poetry coming up after Maddie says her second poem. Maddie, again, take it away without no delay. Tell him
All
precisely.
right. I wrote this poem about my best friend. We've been friends for a few years now, but this year specifically, she has picked me up and helped me grow in ways that are more than appreciated and needed. So, without further ado, I will be performing Bella Blues. I never really had a friend who could feel my emotions as intensely as her. She notices the color change in my eyes and the way my shoulders begin to droop. She knows exactly what to do when the world's weight is deafening and I can't see the light that is shining through. She's the kind of friend whose door is always open, even at 1 or maybe even 2. She picks the pieces of my heart up and glues them back together when a boy shatters them in 2. We don't hug much, but for some reason when we do, everything around me stands still, and for a moment, my future doesn't seem to be so blue. She can see what I see in this life, and we navigate through the bullshit and the drama. She's always able to break through. Her heart is stronger than most, and she doesn't have to prove her affection. If you've got it, then you've got it, and that's all she's able to do. No human being can match her aura, her energy, or her soul. She's a one of a kind person with a heart that is full of gold. To call her my best friend would be a lie. She's my other half in human form. Let me grow with you forever, my sea of shining stars. I am proud of you and I love you. No one can ever tear us apart. And although we aren't affectionate, and this is what we call dumb, you will always hold a piece of me tucked away inside your heart. Keep on going, keep on fighting. This world might not be ready for you, but I see the woman that you are, and you will always speak your truth. To be you is all that matters. Never let that part of you go. For in this life and perhaps the next, I will always watch you grow.
Nice, nice, nice.